Hey everyone, it's Jackie from Energy Before Matter Life Coaching, and I'm here with a life and success and holistic empowerment coach, Courtney Chapman. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me today.
I'm so excited about this call because we get to talk about one of my favorite things. Ah, so for everybody, before we get into one of those favorite things, do you mind sharing your story and what you're doing now, and we'll get into the fun bits in a bit. Well, not that this isn't fun. Sorry.
Yes, of course. So we'll be talking a little bit about essential oils today, which I'm so excited about, and just a little bit about my journey. It was about 3 years ago, I was introduced to essential oils, and at first I was really skeptical and wasn't really sure about them, but I began using them because I considered myself at that time very much kind of a ibuprofen, Aleve kind of pill popper in a sense. I always had some kind of pain and physical pain. And so once I was introduced to essential oils, I started using them. And after a while, I realized how much they were helping me not only physically, but also emotionally. And in my past, I've had a lot of trauma and things that have happened to me that were kind of dug down deep, and I didn't really realize that it happened to me. And I believe that essential oils was definitely that gateway to kind of open up a more natural side of me that started to realize what had happened in my past. And due to that, I now use essential oils not only for my physical ailments, but also to help mentally, spiritually, definitely, and then also emotionally with my health. And throughout that, I now own an essential oil business, and also I own a coaching business as well. And I just quit my job, my full-time job, to do both of these businesses full-time. And essential oils are absolutely amazing, and I think a very big pathway for people who are looking for something more natural and effective and safe for their lives.
Oh, well, first off, congratulations on quitting your job so that you can focus on these two businesses full time. That's incredible.
Thank you.
And about oils, I completely agree. I hear what you're saying. I come from a background where very traditional, where we take medication, see the doctor, and I found over the years I had numerous occasions where I go to the doctor and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, and I was suffering a lot, and I was taking unnecessary medication. And eventually I remember asking questions. I just started to ask questions, like, what if it's this? What if it's that? And what I noticed was they didn't really have the answers when it came to nutrition. And so when I started to look at a more healthy lifestyle, practice yoga, started to play and explore with essential oils and aromatherapy, I really noticed how essential oils can play such a strong role in one's life. And
Mhm.
so I guess, how can essential oils help balance this out? How can essential oils make our life a little bit brighter? Because we both say that they impact our life. So what's your experience? How do they?
So there are several ways. So one way is internally, it can definitely balance us out by helping to detox our bodies. So as you mentioned with nutrition, sometimes we don't eat the best of things. And whenever we don't eat really great foods, we're not getting that nutrition that we really need for our bodies. But on top of that, we sometimes have food that has some kind of chemical in it that may be in our body that's causing inflammation or extra toxins. And so there's definitely essential oils that can help with balancing our lives internally to help with reducing that toxic load and to allow our bodies to have less inflammation, which then causes less pain, which is really nice. But also, whenever it comes to balancing our lives emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, there are tons of essential oils that can help to balance out emotions. So for me, I have high functioning anxiety. So I am not prescribed to anything because I use essential oils. And there was a time where I was very much considering getting on something. And now I use essential oils to really balance out my emotions in that realm. There are also essential oils that can help with the spirituality side and balancing out while you're doing meditations or yoga, like you mentioned. So there's really just a myriad of ways that you can use essential oils to balance out every facet of your life.
And for everybody who doesn't quite know the answer, what exactly are essential oils?
Great question. So essential oils are actually volatile compounds that are extracted from plants. And so let's talk about like a lemon, for example. So the lemon essential oil is taken from the rind of a lemon. So that's the outside of the lemon. So some people, whenever they hear about a lemon essential oil, they think, oh, that's really acidic, but it's actually not, because it comes from the rind. And whenever they take it from the rind, they're cold pressing it. And so they're taking that rind and they're actually pressing it down with cold water. And it is extracting the essential oil that we end up having in these beautiful little brown bottles. Yes.
On cue, no.
Yeah. Yeah, so essential oils, and they can come from the leaves of a plant. So like peppermint, it's the peppermint leaf. For frankincense, it's actually from the tree bark, was where they, and the resin from that bark is where they actually get the frankincense essential oil. So it depends on the specific plant that they're extracting it from, but it comes from plants. So it's completely natural and earth-based.
Awesome. It's always so fascinating how much plants can impact our life, and the science behind it is really fascinating. So thank you for explaining that. And I guess as a new user, what would you recommend for a new user for essential oils? What ones would you recommend? You also talk about taking it internally. I know when I started practicing using essential oils, I was always warned against that. And so I guess, what would you recommend?
Yeah. So, so definitely with the internal usage, I'll kind of go over that first. So every essential oil company is not created equal. So you might find, like I'm from Houston, Texas. So you might find at like a local Walmart or Kroger, or even Best Buy for that matter, your local Whole Food store, you'll see essential oils. And those essential oils are typically somewhat adulterated. So they might have something inside of them, because with the regulations in the United States, they don't have to be 100% pure. So you can definitely go and buy them off the like at a grocery store or something like that, off the shelf, but know that those should never be taken internally. And I wouldn't even recommend using them topically, because you're not sure what's going to be on your skin and then seeped into your body. But with doTERRA's essential oils, with the way that we source our essential oils, and then also the testing that we do, our essential oils, not all of them, but the majority of them, are able to be used internally because of the amounts of testing that we've done to ensure the purity as well as efficacy of our essential oils. So yeah, definitely some of them I would not recommend at all, but with doTERRA's, as long as they can be taken internally, you can definitely use them. So some staples of essential oils I would recommend as a starting point is lemon is a really good one. It's very versatile. It's one that you can take internally, and it's really good for helping with that detox, making sure that toxic load is being purged from your body. It's also really good for heightening your metabolism. It's also good for allergies or any kind of seasonal respiratory issues. It's also good for helping with any kind of like mucus or anything that you might be experiencing if you get a cold. It's also good for cleaning hardwood floors, cleaning surfaces. So lemon is a very, very good one to have. Also, peppermint is another really good one, and also lavender. So peppermint I absolutely love because it's good for focus and good for kind of waking you up in your airways. And it's also good for digestive issues. It's another one you can take internally as well. Lavender is a good one because everybody, I mean, if you smell lavender, it just automatically is calming and kind of makes you just feel better. So lavender is a really good one for that. It's great for sleep. for putting in a diffuser to help with sleep. We actually, my daughter is 16 months old, and we apply lavender on her every night before she goes to bed. And we're lucky parents of a daughter that sleeps 12 hours a night. So, and we attribute a lot of that to essential oils. And we also add lavender to her diffuser. And so those are three of like the really big staples that I would say for somebody who's first starting out. There are, of course, some other essential oils that I would recommend that are better suited for people who might have really strong emotions and they need them for their emotions, or maybe have compromised immune systems and they need something that's a little bit more immune boosting. We also have essential oils for that as well.
No, it's always fascinating to listen to it. And those were my first three as well. I actually got the doTERRA Home Essentials kit. So it came with, of course, lemon, peppermint, and lavender. Mm-hmm. I use lemon for everything, and usually before bed I'll have a tea with either lemon and ginger with just a couple drops each, or if depending how my stomach is doing, I'll do peppermint. But funny story with peppermint is when I first started working with my life coach, I was going through some really heavy guilt, and I remember she introduced me to doTERRA, and she said to me, there's a few, when you talk about emotions and the connections we have with essential oils and emotions. So she had me smelling a few different ones, and the two that resonated with me, the one was peppermint, but I didn't realize the effects that peppermint had on me. And I remember, I mentioned this earlier to you, that I got a little high off of it. And she still states to this day that it's the funniest thing. She just thinks of my face in that moment as I start giggling, because I hadn't really, the potency of peppermint. It was amazing. Now I use it all the time. I don't have that same effect, but I love the smell of it, and it's so good on the stomach. And I'll either drink it in a tea or use it with coconut oil, and if my stomach's hurting, I'll rub it on my stomach so that it just goes through the skin, and I love it. And with lavender, it's the same thing. It's great for sunburns. That's one of the coolest things that I hadn't realized, is if you put it in some coconut oil, you have a sunburn, you rub it on your skin, it helps calm the skin down. And I've done it before if I've broken out in rashes. So it's amazing, the power of essential oils.
Yes, very much so. And it's crazy how just one oil can be used in so many different ways. Because some people, they think of like lavender, for example, and they only think of the relaxing impact that it could have, and don't think about, like you said, with sunscreen. And it also helps with skin irritations. It helps to reduce the amount of bruising that you might have after you fall or you have bruising. So I love that about essential oils, because you can always have just 3 to 5 oils and still be able to use them for pretty much every ailment that you might have.
It's so true. I guess for the people listening to this interview, what would you recommend for manifesting and creating hopefulness in our lives? What oils would you recommend?
Definitely. So when manifesting, we're always at a higher vibration, or wanting to be at a higher vibration. So I always highly recommend using essential oils that also have a high vibration and frequency. So some of the essential oils that have the highest vibration and frequencies that I recommend for manifestation and even meditation is frankincense, rose, and jasmine are the 3 go-tos. And also the essential oil that I love to use the most whenever I'm wanting to manifest money or abundance is wild orange. So another thing is, people don't know that a lot of our essential oils, they are connected to emotions, literally. So I'm going to grab this real quick. So we have this book, and it's called Emotions and Essential Oils. And you can actually look up every single essential oil, and it will tell you what that actual oil has to do with. So for example, frankincense, which is the one I just opened it up to, is the oil of truth. So whenever you are, like, let's say you're meditating or you're manifesting something, and you want to ensure that you're manifesting your truth, and you're wanting to manifest what you truly want in life, applying frankincense whenever you're meditating or you're journaling or you're doing your affirmations for the day could be really beneficial. But yes, wild orange, anytime I'm doing something that is along the lines of abundance, I'm holding amethyst because it's a crystal. It's really great for abundance. And then also wild orange is applied as well.
Awesome. Thank you. I had no idea the impact of wild orange. I've been hearing some different things from wild orange, but it's an oil I had never really considered until recently. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Before, we close off the interview, what is your favorite oil? Absolute favorite. Hard.
Ooh, that's a good question. Ooh. I'm like, I love so many of them. Gosh. So of course it depends. Sometimes my body craves a specific oil, but I would probably say the two top ones that I've noticed my body craving the most lately, and they've become like obsessive to me, is jasmine and ling ling. I actually repurposed and made a perfume out of jasmine, rose, patchouli, and ling ling to really help with manifesting what I want. Also help with like sexual desires. Hope that was okay to say. So yeah, but jasmine for some reason, it just vibrates with my body so well. And I used to be like a frankincense person. Like frankincense was with me 24/7. And then doTERRA came out with the jasmine roller bottle, and I went ahead and I purchased it thinking like, oh, it's going to be too floral for me. And I'm absolutely obsessed. This is my third one since they came out with them in September, because I'm just like, all the time. Like I shower in it, I swear. So yeah, I would say jasmine.
Nice. I like it. And sorry for the difficulty. I know I was thinking about the answer and I'm like, oof, I couldn't answer that either.
Yeah,
I'm so mean.
yeah, no. Well, because I'm like, well, for my emotions, there's this one, and then for yeah, but I would say jasmine. It's all around a really good one. It also, I love applying it on my face as well. It helps with a clear complexion and to reduce oiliness. So I've been using jasmine a lot too.
Oh, well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your knowledge. And I know there's so much more, and I love chatting about it. And I really appreciate your time in today's discussion.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited that we got to talk about oils. I'm always down and happy to chat oils with people.
And if anybody's interested in your information, I'll have it posted with the video so that they can contact you. And if you have any questions about oils, just feel free to pop them in below, and we'll definitely take a look and answer them, because you're in my group as well. So that'll be, I believe so. So yay. So we're here for you if you have any essential oil questions. And I know a lot of you in the group as well are into essential oils. So I'd love to hear some of your favorite recipes or favorite oils. So yeah. Thanks again, Courtney. And everybody else, we'll see you soon. Ciao.
Ciao.